But I ain't gotta change anything.
That's lame. You
Y'all,
starting the
y'all,
live
y'all the
off with
lame
the
ones.
Rover Spirit.
Nah, that's y'all, man. Lord ain't dealing with you brothers, man.
That's crazy to just say that loosely like that.
He said that's crazy. That's crazy talk.
It's real crazy. So it's not a lot of feedback on my end.
No,
Okay, that's good. Very good.
no,
Very
sir.
good.
If I'm not talking, can you hear my background?
I can hear your background, but yeah, it's not like. Hold on, it's getting louder. What you doing? Is
I
that a plane?
didn't do anything.
But no, I can definitely hear your background. It's getting louder.
Bro, the truck just get louder. Bro, that's the truck, bro.
So
It
that's
might
just
calm
normal
down
right
here in
now.
a minute. Yeah,
Mm, okay.
yeah.
All right.
Shalom Swab. So wait. But can you hear me clearly over the truck?
Yeah, I
Okay,
can.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, Malachi, what about you? See, look at that. Brother kind of don't want to get back at his brother, man.
Probably gonna drop.
Yeah, Mike, open up time. First and foremost, we give all praises, all honor, and all glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, by Shem Mashiach Yahushua. Forgive, brothers. We all at work right now, so this ain't finna be the most, the most quality live service, brothers have given. But the work got to go forth. We're doing the work. We're doing the labor. And as you can see by the title, I believe I got the title correct. Um, it's First Corinthians chapter 7. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Looks good. First Corinthians chapter 7. So, um, like I always do, I like to read the previous chapter, a little bit of the previous chapter, going into the chapter I want to break down. Reason why is because these are letters. These are letters. It, Paul did not break it up himself. So we are not to break it up ourselves. They're letters. So I'm gonna start at First Corinthians chapter 6, verse verse 14. It says, and God have both raised up the Lord and will raise up us by his own power. Know ye not that your bodies are the members of Christ? Shall I then take the members of Christ and make them the members of an harlot? God forbid. It looked like now caught me and dropped off. I'm gonna see if I can keep an eye out for him. Um, if he was to come back in. But like I said, Shalom, everybody is coming in. Um, we all at work, so it's gonna be some noise that's going on. Let me know if y'all can't hear me clearly or anything of that sort. But I'm gonna continue reading. I'm in First Corinthians chapter 6, and I just read verse 15, proceeding on to verse 16. Shalom, just a tree and a man. Shalom. So verse 16, it says, what? Know ye not that he which is joined to an harlot is one body? For two saith he shall be one flesh. But he that is joined unto the Lord is one spirit. Flee fornication. Every sin that a man is that the body, but he that committeth fornication sinneth against his own body. It says, what? Know ye not that your body is the temple of God? So like it is the temple of the Holy Spirit, which is in you, which ye have of God, and ye are not your own. For ye are bought with a price. Therefore glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God. So all Paul is saying here is we belong to the Most High, and our bodies are just a vessel with the Holy Spirit dwelling in it. You have the Holy Spirit within you, right? Being said that, do not defile your temple with fornication and adultery, the sins that are committed with the body. You do not want to. There the brother go. You do not want to defile your body. You don't want to defile the temple, right? That's all Paul is saying here. You don't walk in the spirit and be one with the spirit, yet go join yourself unto an harlot, right? That's not we not supposed to do that, right? Hey Mahar, this actually reminds me of the conversation you and Trey had a while ago. You remember that conversation? You ain't got to speak on it, but do you remember it?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, it reminds me of that conversation. Um, Berechiah ben Yehuda Yisrael. Shalom King. I'm gonna keep reading in 1 Corinthians chapter 7. It says, now concerning the things whereof you wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication,
So
let
like,
every
yeah.
man go ahead.
Okay, actually, never mind. I thought your volume had changed, but it was fine. So like, yeah, my bad to interrupt.
No, you good. It says, nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. So what is Paul saying right here? At the very first beginning, he says, now concerning the things whereof you wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. What is this going into? Paul is saying it's good if brothers only focus on the Most High. You touch a woman, we're gonna see later on. He elaborates on he that is married unto a woman. Uh, uh, he kind of has to do the things of the world to please his woman. Not things of the world as in sin, but things of the world as in, gifts and certain pleasures. There's nothing wrong with it, but you are going to have to give up certain time with the Most High to be with your wife. So Paul is saying, it's good that a man be not with a woman. Is he saying a man can't have a woman? No. He elaborates on that in the second verse. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. Some Christians use this to go against uh, polygyny or polygamy. I can't remember which one it is, but they use it to go against that, right? That's not what Paul is saying. We can go all throughout the Old Testament and into the New to show that poly is lawful, right? That's not what Paul is saying. All Paul is saying is to avoid fornication. Let them have their own. Let them have their own. Let them have. He can have his own wife, because when we're reading in Corinthians, we see that these Corinthians were not marrying, but having sexual intercourse with their fathers' wives. Mind you, even right there, it didn't say that they were having sexual intercourse with their mothers. That would have been a whole nother situation within itself. It didn't say that. It said they were having sexual intercourse with their fathers' wives. So to avoid all of this fornication, man, go get your own wife. You get a woman, man. Instead of sitting there burning in your lust, go get you a woman. Instead of the woman burning her lust, burning the desire to have a man, go get a husband. Go get your own husband. You don't got to sleep around with multiple men. Go get a husband. Don't be a harlot, like he was speaking on in the last chapter. Neither for a man to join himself to a harlot. Don't go down to the whorehouse and don't be going to the club trying to throw some money and you trying to pick something up for the night. You can't do that. Don't join your body unto an harlot, and you're the temple of the spirit. That's madness. You're defiling yourself, right? If any of you brothers got a point, y'all can unmute and interrupt me at any point. Verse 3, it says, let the husband render unto his wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband. The wife hath not power over her own body, but the husband. And likewise also the husband hath not power over his own body, but the wife. Now, what is this saying? What is this talking about? Is this talking about the wife can say, that's not your body, that's my body, and I need you to go do this, that, and the third, and she can control him that way? Well, Paul said it's not your body, it's my body. That's not what it's talking about, right? That's not what it's talking about. It's chiefly getting into, man, if your wife wants to lay down with you, lay down with your wife. I mean, it's your wife, lay down with her. Women, if your husband wants to lay down with you, lay down with your husband. This is mostly a problem with today's women, right? A lot of women today, they lose their sex drive due to hormones, due to whatever the case may be. But then they stop providing uh, the duties of a wife. They
The water.
stop doing the duties of a wife. Go ahead, King.
Salakia.
Right.
But just to drop home this point anyway, a lot of times when Paul touch on stuff, you gotta know why it's even needing to be expounded on. And as you see from the last chapter, and as you see us rolling into the beginning of chapter 7, the whole thing that he's teaching against is fornication. So to prevent fornication, if your wife needs sex, it's good for you to give her sex. Does that mean she get to demand you when, where? Nah, it's just to prevent. It's a safety precaution so that she don't commit fornication, so that she's not pushed in that direction. Because if you withhold sex for 2 years, you can see the evil that's gonna come. So Paul just giving brothers wisdom, man, to prevent fornication and adultery. You see what I'm saying? But I yield with that.
Exactly. And like I was going into, um, a lot of the times we see in these marriages how a lot of women will say like, he cheated on me, he cheated on me, he cheated on me. Okay, then we get down into why did he cheat, quote unquote cheat, right? Because I don't believe in cheating, but in today's society, we kind of get what they're talking about. He cheated on me. Okay, how did he cheat on you? Well, he went and slept with this other woman. You go get the man's side, he tells you, well, hey, we haven't had, sexual relations in quite some time. We haven't laid down in quite some time. This is guy that I work with. I don't necessarily work with him, but I deliver tires to him. And we were sitting there talking one time, and he got to saying, he was like, I mean, shoot, if my wife cheating on me, at least somebody's getting laid. That's what he said. He said, I mean, if my wife is cheating on me, at least somebody's getting laid. So white guy. That's he's letting me know. He's telling me he's not getting none. This is what Paul is talking about. And guess what? A lot of men, back in ancient times, it wasn't just necessarily it wasn't a necessary thing to be like, oh well, let me just go get another wife. You know what's more expedient, what's more easier to deal with? Let me just go down to the harlots and pay for a harlot. Same thing like today. Let me just go find a little shorty that can, hook me up real quick, and then I'll be straight. Why? Because he wants to lay down. But the wife is steady sitting there telling him, no, I'm tired. I don't feel like it. I don't want to do. And she hasn't done anything. She hasn't done anything for him. She's not being quote unquote sexy for him. She's not doing anything. She's just appearing, and the man don't even care. He just wants to lay down. This is what Paul is saying. Hey, render that unto him. Render the duties of a wife unto your husband. Same thing with a man. Render the duties of a husband unto your wife. You can't sit here and keep withholding certain things for a long period of time and not expect some backlash from it, right? Uh, it's gonna speak. It's gonna Paul is gonna speak on it furthermore right here. 1 Corinthians 7 and verse 4 again. The wife hath not power over her own body, but the husband, and likewise also the husband has not power over his own body, but the wife. Right? It says, defraud ye not one another, except it be with consent for a time, that ye may give yourselves to fasting and prayer, and come together again, that Satan tempt you not for your incontinency. Incontinency. What is this talking about? You can withhold it with consent from each other. Hey, look, I'm kind of going to go on a fast for a certain period of time. I'm not going to be able to do the things that please you right now. I'm trying to give my mind and my body to the Most High. I gotta focus right now. Okay, cool. She may come to you. Hey, I'm fasting right now. I gotta give my mind and my body, so on and so forth. But after that time period is done, you come back together so Satan doesn't tempt you. Because, like I said, you don't come back together. You kind of denying your man. Like I said, I'm speaking more so to the women because I see it more with the women. Do men do it? Yes, I do believe there are men that do it. But a lot of the times, mostly what I hear is from the women not wanting to do it. And like I said, there are reasons for it. Hormones, pregnancy, postpartum, you name it. It's a bunch of hormones that come with it. So she may not want to lay down. But guess what? You still his wife. As much pride as our women take in being mothers, you should take the same amount of pride in being a wife. I had to tell my wife that. Yeah, you a mama. But do not forget, you're still my wife. Yes, I'm a father. But I cannot forget, I'm still your husband. Right? We still have to come back to each other. We're one body. That's the whole significance of laying down with each other in the first place. Two becoming one. As Paul was speaking on in the previous chapter. You lay down with a harlot, you have now become one body with an harlot. I'm going to keep reading. Verse 6. But I speak this by permission and not of commandment. What is Paul saying? Paul is basically saying, hey, this is wisdom. You're not going to find this in the law. This isn't a commandment. I'm not telling you this as if it is a commandment, but it is wisdom. Yeah. Okay, check this out. Yeah, a woman, she can withhold sex from her husband. She can do that. She can do that for uh, uh 5, 10 years. But what she cannot do is complain when he either one gets another wife or two sleeps around. You can't complain. Am I saying the brother is justified in sleeping around? No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying you cannot complain if he goes off and does this. You can't cry he cheated, he laid down, or he did something sexual with this woman if you don't even venture to touch him.
So I,
Go ahead, King.
so boom. So I give this background noise in the background. You feel me? I'm driving. Bear with me though. Time, and this is something I like to cut down a lot because it just bothers my spirit specifically. But what's the word, bro? It's double standards, right? So like it's a lot of pressure on men to perform sexually, right, in the bedroom, and to you gotta come with this. I ain't gonna get into the details, but it's a lot of pressure on men to perform. But a lot of times, women they don't bear that same responsibility. They don't bear that same burden when it comes to sex. Like it's just not equal. It don't go both. It's supposed to go both ways. Like like I said, your body is your wife's, and her body is yours, and y'all take care of each other in that kind of way. But it's unequal, bro. I ain't gonna lie. In today's society, it's more pressure on the men to perform sexually, and the women they not burdened with that. You feel me? They kind of feel like whatever they coming with is good enough. In general, right? It's not everyone, of course.
Right. I'm with you. And that be the problem a lot of the time. Like I said, I'm not just speaking, I'm not ignorant to the fact that men withhold sex. I'm not ignorant to that. Um I do know that it happens. But like I said, I'm speaking to the majority of what I hear. A lot of the times it does be because or it do be problems in a relationship or a marriage or somebody's yelling cheating because the woman is withholding it. That's exactly what Paul is speaking on right here. So Paul is letting you know, hey, I speak by permission, not by commandment. So yes, a woman, you can. That's not wise though. That's not good. And you can't really raise the argument and say anything like because then the argument's gonna come back to this. Okay, cool. When was the last time y'all laid down together? It's been years. Okay, why? Well, when he touches me, I'm just not in the mood. Or when it's nighttime, I'm just not in the mood. Okay, when are you ever in the mood? Well, I'm in the mood here. Okay, did you let him know that? No. So you got in the mood, but you didn't say anything. You didn't do anything. No, I didn't. Okay, so how was he supposed to know? I don't know. Okay, so you're upset now because he got another wife. Yeah, because he's just going to lay down with her all the time. It then becomes problematic, and it's a weird conversation to have. It's not a valid argument, right? Let's keep reading though. Verse 7, 1 Corinthians 7:7. For I would that all men were even as I myself, but every man have his proper gift of God, one after this manner, and another after that. I say therefore to the unmarried and widows, it is good for them if they abide even as I. So Paul is speaking to upright women, women in the truth, women who are strong enough to bear this, right? You got to think about it. He's speaking to actual, real women. A lot of women in today's time need a man. I hear doctrines about men, about saying men like, the only way you can be saved is if, through your husband or if you have a man. I understand what they're talking about when they say that. I get it. It's like, nah, because if you by yourself, you're going to end up dropping the button. You're going to end up dropping the bag. You need some guidance. You need a leader. Women were meant to be led. Let's just be honest. The woman was born to be a helpmeet. But what Paul is saying is to these real women who actually was following the faith, yeah, it is good for you to dwell by yourself. It is good for you to be alone. Why? You can give your everything to the Most High. You can give your mind to the scriptures. You don't have to worry about an argument arising. As a man, you don't have to worry about arguments. You don't have to worry about emotions. You don't have to worry about a lot of stuff that come with the woman. Same thing with the woman. You don't got to worry about this man tripping or him coming home from work and he having a bad day. And you kind of got to help lift him up. You don't got to worry about that. Nobody else is there constantly, you know, not constant. I'm not gonna say constantly because that's not how every marriage is. But every now and again, draining your spirit because you have to now put up with something when it shouldn't be that way. It's like that now because a lot of people don't know how to fix problems. A lot of people don't know how to solve problems. A lot of people don't know how to deal with problems. So now it's a constant, boxing match between a man and his woman. And I mean that figuratively. Where he bumping his head against her, she bumping her head against his. And now it's a constant spirit drain. Well, I'm kind of not in the mood to teach right now. I'm kind of, man, damn. Or man, I would bring it out, but my wife, man, or the sister, man, I would study with y'all. It's just I'm just not in the right spirit. If you're single, you don't got to worry about that. You wouldn't have to worry about that. That's what Paul is getting at. You can get it. You can get straight into the wisdom knowledge of the Most High. You don't have to continually. Uh, this is why Christ didn't have a wife. This is why Paul didn't have a wife. Paul constantly gave himself to the ministry. Paul wouldn't be able to give himself to the ministry as he did if he had a wife and he had children. You got to kind of tap back in at home. Okay, wait, I got to stop by the house real quick, make sure everything's good with them, and then we can head out. He get to the house and they kind of get into an argument. They get into a scruffle. They get into an ordeal, and now Paul may go out and teach only through emotion instead of through logic and wisdom and sound doctrine. He's teaching now through emotion because his wife pissed him off. That's not how a marriage should be. That's not how it should be in general, right? Like I said, we got that more so prominent today because a lot of people don't know how to fix problems. A lot of people don't even know how to identify a problem. You don't even know where the problem began, let alone where to fix it. Then on top of that, we got people who don't even want to forgive. We're brought up in a culture where forgiving somebody is lame, is weak, it's not it. But yet you get in the truth and you bring all of these past things with you. You bring lack of forgiveness. You bring holding grudges. You bring all of this with you, all these negative spirits with you into the truth and then into a marriage. And you're wondering why you can't fix problems. Well, it's maybe because you can't forgive somebody. They may have did this to you. Yeah, did you forgive them? Well, damn, what do you mean? Well, I wanted to forgive them, but, well, damn, what do you mean? The scriptures say the Most High is not going to forgive you if you can't forgive if you can't forgive your neighbor's sin. Why should the Most High God forgive you? A man likened unto yourself, but you can't forgive him of his trespasses. You can't forgive her of her trespasses. And you're bringing that into a marriage. And now you're wondering why you can't fix your problems, right? Marriage, Bahar brings this out all the time. Marriage situations are top three. Top three, one of the most problematic things in Israel. It's sticky. It's hard to deal with. It's just so hard to deal with because you got to figure out if somebody's lying, if this person is lying. You got to go to the past. What they do in the past? Can you forgive? Are you holding on to a grudge? Can you change? Can you change? Can y'all grow? Can you move forward? Can you find a place to restart? You got to figure out so many things, right? So this is a lot of Paul's recommendation and wisdom on marriage before getting married and while married, right? I'm gonna continue. Shalom Rose the Lioness. Shalom. I'm gonna continue reading. Verse 9. But if they cannot contain, let them marry, for it is better to marry than to burn. What Paul is talking about is burning in your lust. It's better to marry than to sit there and constantly, you know, envision certain things. A brother may be a so-called virgin, right? So-called virgin. It's better for him to go get a wife than for him to be kicking it around the guys and his constant thoughts of brothers' wives in his head. Be like, man, I kind of feel, and that's the real thing. That happened to us before. Brother kind of sat down with us and was like, yeah, I've had certain thoughts about y'all's wives, man. What? What? Huh? What do you mean? Yeah, man, a certain thought, you know what I'm saying? I have. That's because certain people burn in that. And then there's no limit to that. The scriptures even speak about that. A person who's burning in their lust, that fire is going to continue to burn until they're totally burned out. This is why you
Watch
get a
it.
lot of these higher ups. Go ahead, King.
So boom. Hey, shout out to Mighty Officer One. He always bring out this account, right? And before I say that, I'm gonna say this. Lust is like one of the strongest forces out there. Like it's hard to just go up against lust toe for toe. You know what I'm saying? That's why Paul's speaking the way he's speaking about the situation. He said, bro, before you just try to go head up with lust for the rest of your life, bro, if it's getting the best of you like that, go get a wife or get a husband. You feel me? Because lust is such a strong. Even in science, they conclude that lust is like one of the strongest motivators for human action. Like, I'm trying to put it into words. Motive, lust is very powerful. Let's just say that, right? Lust is one of the most powerful influences on earth. Let's say that. And Bahawam always bring out the account about Joseph, right? With in the account where Pharaoh's wife wanted to sleep with Joseph, right? She was lusting after Joseph. And what did Joseph do once he started trying to make moves on her? Nigga, he ran completely out of the house. That's how you gotta flee from lust, man, because it's that powerful. You try to sit there and play around with it, and like you say, you get burnt up, man. Before you know it, Joseph, now he in too deep. You feel me? In the situation that got crazy real quick, because that's how lust works. So you gotta, I say that to just let you know the wisdom of our forefathers and how he handled that situation. He completely fled out of the house. You dig what I'm saying? And that's a wise example that we can look at. And that lets you know how powerful lust is. He had to leave the whole. He shook the spot, man.
John Salagia. That's a fact. He had to get out of there. When you go into Clement, it describes it that Joseph was in the prime. He was in prime time of his quote unquote sexuality, meaning he was a young man ready to breed and lay seed, to keep it polite, right? He was ready, but he had to flee from it because he knew the dangers thereof. So it's better for a man and a woman to marry than to burn. That's all it's going into. Shalom, Sister Wilena. I'm going to keep reading. Verse 10. And unto the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord. Let not the wife depart from the husband, or depart from her husband. But and if she depart, let her remain unmarried, or be reconciled to her husband, and let not the husband put away his wife. So Paul letting you know, he said, look, this ain't even a command from me. This is a command from the Most High. Mind you, if the laws was done away with, Paul would not be saying this. Paul wouldn't say a commandment. He wouldn't say, not I, but the, no, he wouldn't say that. He would say, man, you can kind of, you can kind of put her away. The grace of Christ. That's not what he said. He said, let not the wife depart from her husband. And if she do depart, let her remain unmarried, or be reconciled back to her husband. And let not the husband put away his wife. I mean, that's what it is. A woman is only to depart from her husband through death. If that man died, that's pretty much it. The only way a man is done with his wife is if she dies. And of course, obviously you got the adultery of the fornication. But we're all righteous here, right? We're not, we don't commit such things, right? We shouldn't, at least. I should be speaking to 10 righteous people in here. So no, you don't put away your wife. It's not how it works. You don't
Salaki.
just get to pull that card. Go ahead, King.
So boom. Hey, I want to take a second to emphasize the importance of courting, right? How important and how much of a beautiful and useful tool is courting somebody without having no sexual relations with them, right? You can really take time to get to know a person to see if y'all really got that chemistry that can last the long haul. You know what I'm saying? You get to see if you're really attracted to this person, and if you're attracted to this person for the right reasons or the wrong reasons. And it can just really help you making a very informed decision on who you're gonna spend the rest of your life with, right? Because that's how marriage is meant to be. Um, yeah, man. It's important. It's important. I'm gonna just say this, and I speak as a man. I think it's important to pick somebody you are physically attracted to, at least to a certain degree. You don't want to be married to somebody that you find repulsive or just very unattractive. That's just not going to be fruitful in the long run. You know what I'm saying? That's one example. Another example, maybe y'all personality and y'all spirits just don't match. Y'all just don't. It ain't hitting. Like y'all just dislike each other's company. It's nothing. It's no harm, no foul. I done met people and like, nigga, you're just not my cup of tea, honestly, and I might not be their cup of tea, and that's fine. But you don't want to be married to a person like that. You know what I'm saying? Or it's just chemistry. You know, it's courting phase is very useful. So take advantage of courting. Right? So like, on the right.
Right. I'm gonna put the balance to it. You don't want to just marry a woman because she look great, but y'all don't mix. It's not gonna last. Woman, you
Perfect.
don't want to marry a brother. You don't want to marry a brother just because he look great. You don't know what manner of man this guy is, and you just kind of stepped out and married him because what the women into the tall, dark, handsome brother. And he kind of got a beard that's oiled up. Brother beard looked like King David beard, and you thought it was a good idea to just go marry him. Come to find out, brother don't like work. He kind of allergic to work. Brother allergic to work, but he looked like King David. No, that's not finna go well for you. Sisters, this is another one for y'all. Don't ignore the red flags. You kind of know this brother got a quick temper, and he raised his hand at you, and he might have slapped you one time, but you know what most women say? Man, I can change him. No, you cannot. You cannot. A man's spirit, a man's base level spirit is so strong that he's going to change you before you can change him. That's just what it is. He's going to change you to where now you are used to getting slapped around. And now it's your fault as to why you're getting slapped around. And now everything kind of makes sense to you. No, 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 don't. When you're courting a man, do not meditate and think, no, I can change him. And I can change him to be a better guy. And it's all, no. He has issues that are rooted in him. He needs help. He needs counsel. He needs therapy. He needs help. You have never counseled a man in your life. You don't even give good counsel. And you think you can counsel him out of this? No. Do not jump in that situation. Do not walk into that situation. It's all the time. And then it be the sister. They say, I think I can help them. And then it be the sister saying, I can't remarry. Well, damn, you just put yourself in a tough predicament. You can't remarry. That's adultery. You knew what this man was about, but you got down with him anyway. No, you can't do that. You can't just call. Well, can I just remarry anytime you want? This go for brothers and sisters. You cannot just call that. Well, do you think it's lawful if I just go be with? No, stop, stop. We can't just do that. What's really the problem? We can't just do that. Yeah, you may be able to do that if you caught your husband sleeping with a dog or something. Yeah, I'm not gonna tell that woman she can't remarry. You caught a man laying down with a dog. I'm not gonna be that guy to be like, nah, you can't remarry. No, nah, you get out of there. In ancient days, he would have been stoned. You get out of there. Same thing with a brother. You catch your wife sleeping with a damn animal or another man. Hey, you gotta go. You're out of there.
So I,
But you,
hey,
real quick, real quick. But you don't just pull the "let me remarry" card any chance you get because no. And then, like I said, to the point that I was making, you knew this brother, y'all was courting, and you knew he raised his hand up on you, but you decided to say, "I can change this man," and you stuck with it. Nah, you better stick it out. That's not, you can't just do that. And am I saying the guy is right for putting his hands on you? No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying also we just forget everything he's doing. I'm not saying that. But we're speaking on the courting phase. You do not ignore red flags. I don't care how good the brother look. I don't care how good with the kids he is and he kind of cook. I don't care about none of that. Don't ignore the red flags. You're gonna end up in a terrible situation. Go ahead.
and you're exactly in the spirit that I'm in, because that's exactly what I was gonna say. Don't ignore the red flags. You dig what I'm saying? Because the red flags is there. The Lord is showing you stuff. You don't just see stuff for no reason. Life ain't just random. You think brother, you went to her house, man, and she told you she ain't been with no other men, and you reach behind her bed, and it's a damn ski mask over there, man. She done had Pooh Shiesty and who else over there, man? Somebody done been over there, bro, recently, man. You know, and she kind of tell you, I don't know who it is, and you just okay, and you kind of just believe her. Then what else? You look on the other side of the bed. She got a this condoms or something over there. Like, why if you ain't been dealing with nobody and you don't intend on dealing with nobody, why you got condoms? She might tell you, oh, just safe for safety, and she may be telling the truth. But like, look, man, you gotta hearken to the red flags at some point. You gotta acknowledge the red flags at some point. Too many coincidences? Nah, bro. It ain't that many coincidences in the world. You know what I'm saying? And you go through her phone and you see she in contact with men. You know what I'm saying? Might be men she used to be with. You know what I'm saying? And you kind of tell her like, no, it ain't like that. It's just about this or that, brother. Don't be a fool, bro. Don't be a simp, bro. Come on, bro. And just like I gotta get on I gotta get a reversal, kind of like how Ron was doing too, right? Uh, Sister, if he's showing you all the signs that he no good, the brother don't like to work. He don't. He don't got no might to him. You seen him in a situation where he kind of should have, you know what I'm saying? Maybe defended you, or I don't know, whatever the Lord might reveal to you about him. You got to just be aware of that and be aware of what you're getting yourself into and make an informed decision, right? So like it for being long-winded, but you gotta don't ignore the red flag. Make an informed decision. If he violent, like you said, you know, raise his hand at you like he was trying to hit you or something, like, hey, you might be getting yourself into a marriage with a man who may possibly put his hands on you for any given reason. That's just logic. You know what I'm saying? You can be merciful, but just know what you're getting yourself into.
Right,
I digress.
right. Well, Lena asked a great question. It's an amazing question, right? Um, so the question she had asked is, bear with me. What if it says, what if the wife refuses to keep commandments and wants to live as a heathen? Can the husband put away the wife then? So the answer is no. The answer is no. And Paul is actually going to speak on that in the next verse, verse 10. And the Lord, not I'm the Lord, and the verse, I'm not at verse 10, verse 12. But to the rest speak I, not the Lord. If any brother hath a wife that believeth not, and she be pleased to dwell with him, let him not put her away. And the woman which hath an husband that believeth not, and if he be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him. Do not leave. That is, you do not get into a marriage to divorce. That's something that our people got to figure out. You do not get into a marriage to divorce. That's not what's going on, right? That's not what we do. We had a woman one time come up here and say, you know, my husband, he's committing adultery and blah, 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 blah. Me and Mahara kind of, we trying to play it safe because there's background information that we're obviously missing. We don't just give marriage counsel out on live. In a particular case, we're not coming on here and dealing with somebody and getting, doing marriage. That's not what we do because there's so much information that's missing, especially from just one party. Come to find out, she's saying that he just, he committed spiritual adultery. Well, nah, wait a minute. That's not what you said. Because what's to stop somebody from saying that, from calling that every time? My wife, let's say my wife on Instagram a little too much. Man, she committed spiritual adultery, man. She woke up, first thing she did was get on Instagram. She ain't keeping the most I got first, bro. I gotta put her away. Well, damn. That's what you doing? Man, I don't know. My husband, he ain't read in a week. He's committing spiritual adultery. I gotta go marry another man. Well, damn, why did you marry him? Right? That's what a lot of people are going to start calling. And no, Paul said, if she's pleased to dwell with that man, let her dwell. Remain married. Do not put her away. Same thing with you, sisters. If you got a good man, a good husband, right? And he kind of, you say you don't want pork in the house no more, and he kind of say, all right, baby, we ain't gonna have pork in the house no more. I get it. I know you religious, baby. We ain't gonna have pork in the house no more. You got a man like that, and you trying to put him away because he don't necessarily got the faith like that. No, nah, nah, nah.
So
You don't
like
get to lead that man for that. Go ahead.
right. That's what's so powerful about this chapter because you have situations like that. You got a brother or a sister. We'll use the sister because Aharon just used the sister in the scenario. A sister who been in the truth. She might have been in the truth for a year. She came into the truth. She already was married to, her husband, Rico. And Rico didn't come into the truth like she did. She kind of want to keep God's commandments. She dressing more modestly. She wearing fringes. She put the head wrap on. She be in her scriptures. She eating clean foods, cooking clean meals. And he not necessarily in the truth though. He not necessarily in the scriptures and praying or fasting and trying to keep feast days. That's kind of what she on. But he ain't really stopping her. But sometimes women and even men, I'm just using a scenario because Aharon already set the stage for this scenario by utilizing a woman who was in the truth. You can't go get another husband because he not on fire for the Most High. You can't do that. And vice versa. Men come into the truth and they want to, we know, but nigga, you was just in the world 6 months ago and the Lord chose you. You can't put your wife away all because the Lord ain't wake your wife up yet. And you know, it's been 3 months and you telling her about the, the fringes, and you keep telling her to wear her skirt and wear a dress, and she put it on only one day a week, and she kind of wants certain meals, and she didn't went and had fast food. You found out she had a number 3 and it had bacon on it. You want to put her away off that. Look, man, you got to be merciful and you got to be long suffering. And you know she love you, she care about you, she there, she take good care of the home, she do everything. Well, you brother, you got to be patient, and you got to do your best to dwell with her according to knowledge and teach her and build her up. You know what I'm saying? Of course, don't accept that. You know what I'm saying? Don't just say it's okay. It's not okay. But don't let your first. This is the problem. We always trying to, going back to the root of Aharon's last point. We go into marriage thinking that divorce is okay. Like that's the option. Divorce should never be an option. Every time brother get upset, he trying to kick her out. Every time sister get upset, every time the wife get upset, she want to leave. She want to go to her parents' house, and she want to be done. And that cannot be the mindset going into marriage. That should be unacceptable. You see what I'm saying? That should be unacceptable. And I'm just bringing it full circle, Aharon, and passing it back to you. That's unacceptable.
That's right. So, my bad. When you brothers talking, I kind of picked up some popcorn, started eating. But we good, right? Back at it. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse. Again, Melina, that was a great question. Hebrew daughter, is it wrong for a man to go to a family reunion on the new moon? On the new moon. I haven't seen anything unlawful about it. Uh, brother isn't working. Brother isn't carrying any burdens. I wouldn't see anything unlawful about it unless they're doing unlawful activities. But remember, the new moon is a gathering. It's a holy gathering, and they should be celebrating new moon too. But obviously, we don't live in that society where everybody's celebrating new moon. But I wouldn't call it a transgression as long as that brother is walking appropriately. Also, tomorrow, what you got to say on that?
Give me like 30 seconds.
Yeah, you good out. Again, we at work. Have mercy. Brothers at work. But it was on brother's spirit to do the work at work. You know what I'm saying?
All right, Con, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, my reasoning would mirror yours on that matter. I wouldn't say this is an outright transgression of the law. Because you can't go to the scripture or the law that say that. But generally, on a new moon, you want to keep things holy. You want to be moving in that spirit with like-minded brothers and sisters. What I will say is about them family reunions. Like one of the things, how I deal with certain problems in my life, I prioritize certain things based off how often, how many times did it actually occur in my life. How often would this brother have a family reunion and it fall on a new moon? Is that brother actively engaged in the truth? There's a lot of variables, a lot of things to look at it, and how much of a dog do you want to put in this fight? You know what I'm saying? How much is it going to cause even a bigger separation in y'all marriage? You coming to him and talking about it? Can y'all actually handle a conversation and you actually just tell him where you at with it and what you think? And you might tell him the scriptures. Is he receiving it? You know what I'm saying? It might not be it's a lot of variables in there. But outright, you're not gonna be able to go to a scripture and say XYZ is a sin. But it is a spirit you want to be moving in on feast days and holy days. They are set apart for a reason. So there is a certain level that you might be able to blame your husband for going to that family reunion. You know what I'm saying? But if he not necessarily just working, carrying forth the burden on a new moon, hey, you got to kind of look at the pros and cons of it, because it might be good. Because it might be good. My mind, one of the big questions I want to know is he actively in the truth? You know what I'm saying? Is he actively in the truth? You know what I'm saying? Because that would play a part in my judgment of how I would relay certain messages to certain people. But yeah, me personally, I speak as a man. Me personally, I want to be not even me personally. On a new moon, I want to be around brothers who moving in the spirit, who keeping new moon. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's me. But yeah, that's really all I got with it. To not make it too long or drawn out.
God. 1 Corinthians 7 and verse 14. It says, "For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. Else were your children unclean, but now are they holy." So what is this talking about? Is this talking about, your wife? She kind of gets to be a demon now because you know, she know that she's cleansed and sanctified through you because y'all are now one flesh. She get to be a demon now. No, that's not what Paul is saying. Paul is not saying that. You can't be a demon to your husband, and brothers, you can't be a demon to your wife and expect to make it because of her. It's not how that works. I'm under the understanding of if if I had a wife, I do have a wife, but I'm using another woman as an example. If I had a wife who was in the world, but she wore a dresser when I told her to, she didn't eat pork, she kept the Sabbath days because I told her to. You know what I'm saying? She wears fringes because I told her to. I told her to put it on her garments. She don't got it on all of her clothes, but on a couple of her clothes, she got fringes on them and she wears it. She doesn't say anything. She doesn't rebuttal against it, right? I teach her the commandments, not because she believes, but because she know that's what I stand on. And it's how I'm ordering my house. I'm telling her all of that. Yeah, she can make it. And she do it, yeah, she can make it. That's what I believe. She can make it. But if I got a wife, hey babe, we keeping the Sabbath this week. And she kind of like, I ain't keeping no Sabbath. That's what she's saying in her heart. I ain't keeping no Sabbath. She go out spending money. She kind of still working on the Sabbath day. She not looking to get off on the Sabbath day. She's just going to work. She doesn't care about that. Yeah, no. No. You ain't making it. Same thing with her husband. You kind of letting them know, look, this is what I enjoy doing. Like, this is my religion. This is what I'm bound by. Okay, baby, I got you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna bring in crab legs no more. I got you. I can change that up. And you kind of told him, because the scriptures say Peter taught, men can be won by the conversation of a woman, by her lifestyle. She kind of walking up to you and she like, man, I think you'll look real nice in this. You show him a friend's shirt. I think you'll look real cute in this. I ain't gonna lie. It kind of give you some culture, give you a little salt. Him, men are like children. He over there looking goofy and stupid. He kind of laughing. You think that look good, babe? Yeah. He kind of throw it on. Yeah. I think that's what I believe the scripture is going into because they one flesh. But no, you cannot be a demon and expect salvation to come through your counterpart. No, no, that's no.
So
I
like,
don't
can
believe
I get
that at
there?
all. Go ahead.
Right. I want to just condense what you said. Aharon is explaining a spouse being cleansed, their works being changed into something more righteous, not necessarily because they was brung into the truth by the Most High and they have this big zeal for the Most High to serve the Most High, but through being washed and cleansed by their spouse. You know what I'm saying? They can have a chance to get things kind of right, to get some of them bad works off of them. You know, the Most High reward people according to their works. So by obeying, mind you, part of a woman's works, you're gonna be judged. Part of your judgment is gonna come by how you obeyed your husband. So you might not have been, okay, I'm an Israelite, you know, I'm a daughter of Sarah, I gotta get right. And you in Proverbs 31, you in the spirit, you moving, you cleaning, you waking up early. You might not necessarily be on that, but through listening to your husband, next thing you know, you started keeping commandments you didn't even know. And now you kind of being clean. Now you kind of not sinning as much as you used to. Right. So I said I was gonna condense it, but then I made it long again. Damn. All right, it's on you. See, he back on that popcorn, man. Brothers got to get right.
Don't do that. Don't do
Brothers got
that.
to get right. We
Don't
got,
do
we
that.
got, we got Big Shaka War in the chat. Shalom King.
Big shock on the scene. Shalom.
Right. Yeah.
So I am going to continue reading. Right. Let me get to it. I'm on this droid, man. I'm on a nasty Android. I don't see how people use this the file thing.
I don't see how brothers use that and walk in the spirit. You know,
You know what I'm saying? Kind of claim they walking in the spirit. Well, brother, your phone don't say that. You know what I'm saying? Your phone kind of say filthy communication. But whatever though, right? I'm gonna read. I'm gonna read. Verse 15. But if the unbelieving depart, let him depart. Brother or sister is not under bondage in such cases. Um, but God hath called us to peace. So if you got an unbelieving counterpart and they depart, let them depart. You can fight for them. You can do that. You can have mercy, but it's not under the same stipulations and rules as a one in the faith. Like if I had a wife and she's trying to leave, and I know for a fact she's not in the faith. I'm not. I'm not saying she's not in the faith so I can leave her. No, that's wicked. You don't do that. You don't pull that card. Well, she ain't in the truth because she ain't listening to me, and she's supposed. No, nigga, stop, stop.
you gonna be the cause that she commit fornication. Can't do that.
Right, you can't do that. So what this is saying is, if she's genuinely not in the faith, she's not in the truth, and she wants to leave, you're not under bondage. You don't have to. You don't. Nah. You don't. Nah. Okay. Okay. You can leave. All right. She's not bound by the same things you bound by. She's just not. She's going to leave anyway. And if she doesn't, she's going to commit adultery anyway. You can let her leave.
So
Right.
like it.
Go ahead, King.
And on the part where it touch on God has called you to peace, loosely paraphrasing, you got to understand whenever you got a man chasing after the Most High God, trying to be obedient, walking in the Spirit, being built up in fear and in faith and in wisdom and in knowledge and in understanding. If you got a woman who's completely in the world and she's not receptive to the things that you want her to do, she's not cooperative, guess what? It's going to be hell. It's going to be chaos. It's going to be like the opposite of peace. So if she gets to the point where she just not in the truth, she isn't showing strong signs. She isn't showing signs that she's gonna come into the truth and kind of get down with the Most High God or get down with your program. And she made it up in her own mind that she's gonna leave. And that might be the Most High just giving you some peace. Now, that don't, I already made this disclaimer, but we got to do it time and time again so brothers don't get misinformed, so brothers don't run away and start being evil and wicked towards their wife. If you got a wife that's pleased to dwell with you, and she not just in the truth, how you see fit, how you want her to be, you cannot leave her. You can't cut her off. You can't stop dealing with her, because you're gonna start being the minister of sin. You making your wife who love you going to commit adultery and fornication. Mind you, that's one of the big things in this conversation. You can't be the reason your wife going to fornication. All right, go ahead, King.
There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. So boom, you can't make that girl a whore, bro. You can't put her in that kind of situation, bro. And you a man of the Lord, so you I can see it to where you would be held way more accountable, seeing you know the truth and you moving irresponsibly, right? So listen to wise counsel. Don't be out here making whores of the daughters of Israel. Cause them to commit fornication, doing all kind of madness. Trying to hide behind the word, you twisting the word up to try to defend what you're doing.
Quick point. The Most High don't play about this kind of stuff. We read it in the book of is it Micah or is it Malachi? Like it's like what, chapter 3:16, 2:16, something of that nature.
The Lord hateth putting away.
The Lord hateth putting away. The Lord hates when niggas is putting away their wives. It was not supposed to be like that from the beginning. So don't be the brother who constantly trying to get out of this marriage. No, you went into her. That's your rib. That's your rib. And you gotta see this thing. You gotta see it through. You gotta deal. You gotta build her up through the spirit as much as you can. Niggas know how grievous it is. Women know how grievous it is. We know how tough it is. But this is what the Most High God ordained. Right? As we keep reading this chapter, you're gonna see this is a part of it. When you go get a brand new, when you go get a car, guess what comes with it? Maintenance, oil changes, new tires, transmissions, starters, batteries, all kind. That's what come with it. So when you go lay down with somebody, that's what come with it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have a battery problem with your car or a starter problem, and you say, I'm gonna go get a new car. Guess what? That new car gonna give you an engine problem. And the Most High gonna destroy you. So get right, deal with your problems, man up, woman up, and make it work. Make it work.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I'm gonna keep reading. It says, "For what knowest thou, O wife, whether thou shalt save thy husband? Or how knowest thou, O man, whether thou shalt save thy wife?" You don't know. The scriptures say, this is the Most High. He said, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. The scriptures say the Lord's mercy endureth forever. You don't know what can happen. You don't know what can happen. This nigga Paul was persecuting the church. Stephen fell right at Paul's feet. Nigga Paul became a mighty advocate for Yahweh Shai after that. Come on now. You don't know who you have mercy on or who you have compassion on. Right? I'm going to keep reading. Verse 17, but as God hath distributed to every man as the Lord hath called every one, so let him walk, and so ordain I in all churches. It says, is any man being circumcised? Is any man being called circumcised? Let him not become uncircumcised. Is any man called uncircumcision? Let him not be uncircumcision. Let him not be circumcised. I'm not going to speak on this right now because it's not the topic at hand. Circumcision is nothing, and uncircumcision is nothing but the keeping of the commandments of God. It says, "Let every man abide in the same calling wherein he was called." Let me jump down to where he get back on the topic. Okay, boom. Verse 26. I suppose, therefore, that it is good for the present distress. I say that it is good for a man to be. Art thou bound to a wife? Seek not to be loosed. Art thou loose from a wife? Seek not a wife. So if you got a wife, you ain't trying to be seeking, man, how can I get out of this marriage? How can I get done with this woman? How can I leave this woman? How can I get from her? How can I? No. And if you loose from a wife, bro, don't be seeking a wife, bro. Like, just chill. Be easy for a minute. Do some self-examination. Are you the reason you was loose from her? Think about it for a second. Niggas will get out of a relationship, get into another relationship, and not fix anything. Niggas still don't know how to lead, still don't know how to get her to submit, still don't know how to teach her, and then it's the same problem that come back. Man, she just ain't listening. Well, damn, what is it? Man, she just ain't listening, man. And I showed her the scripture, and I said this, and I said that. Okay, did you listen to what she said? Man, nah, I don't got to. Oh, well, okay. My bad, you the guy. My bad, you right. You don't got to. And you wondering why nothing's getting fixed. Okay, you right. Let's look at it. Let's look at it. Ladies, don't take no offense to this analogy that I'm finna give. It's only for wisdom. You don't go to a dog speaking to the dog in your language and expect them to get it. And the dog like, damn, I never thought of it like that. It's not how it works. You don't go to a child and speak to him as an adult and he kind of get it. What am I saying? Men and women are not the same. You don't rebuke your wife like you would rebuke your a friend. I'm not rebuking my wife how I rebuke Mahar. Mahar is a man. It's totally different. I actually got a great example, right? My father. My father called me and my brother a B word one time. He said, shut the F up. Y'all both acting like B words. Okay. You know what me and my brother did? We shut up. We weren't even mad that he called us that. We actually acknowledged he was right. All right, man, you're right. Let us be quiet. He had said that to my sister. You know how my sister handled it? She didn't talk to him for, I think, some years. Two totally different situations. Me and my brother reacted totally different. We didn't ignore our daddy and be like, nah, man, you called us that. No. But you know what my sister did? She ignored him and she didn't deal with him. Why is that? Because we're two totally different people. We're different. We're just different. So you don't communicate with a man the same way you would with a woman. I'm not going to raise my daughter the same way I'm going to raise my son. They're different. Why would I? If I say something to him, he's going to hear it different than how I say it to her. But you got niggas in council. Man, I don't got to listen to her because such and such. Or yeah, she said that, but I ain't really. It's like, damn, dog, you're going to keep having these problems then. You're trying to communicate to her ineffectively. How does she tell you? Some women may need to be yelled at, and they'll let you know that. Nah, I really only listen like when you if you yell at me. That's how I was raised. Like I get it when you yell. If you coming to me whispering and stuff, that's not gonna get through to me. I'm just not gonna get it. All right, cool, yell. Some women, hey, I'm not gonna hear anything if you yell at me. I'm gonna get straight emotional and shut down, and I can't pick up anything you're saying. Like it's just not gonna work. Okay, cool. Let me try a different approach. Let me try talking soft. Let me try dealing. All right, boom. Some women, some women need a hug after you get done rebuking them. You know what? You know, what used to go through my head. I'm not rewarding her wickedness with a hug. Why would I do that? But it's not about that. I'm thinking like a man. I'm thinking from a man perspective. Not giving this nigga no hug. If you think from a woman's perspective, all she needs to know is, yes, I got rebuked, but do you still love me? That's what she's feeling. Is there still love there, or are you mad? Do you hate me? That's all she's feeling right now. And then you give her that hug, everything that you told her. Now she begins to process it. Okay, he actually does love me. So what did he say to me last time when he kind of talked to me? But she asked for a hug, and you say, "Nah, damn that." And you get up and walk away, and you slam at the door. Now everything you just told her to help out, she ain't picked none of that up. All she picked up was you didn't hug her, you slammed the door, you said damn that, you walked out furious. It's about communication. And there's a difference because even in the scriptures, it says husbands love your wives, reverence your husbands. It's because men, we can have a tendency to try to have some type of respect or lack of love towards our wife. So the Bible is reminding us, no, nigga, you need to love your wife. You need to deal with her. Communicate with her with wisdom, in wisdom, how she needs to be communicated with. Wives, reverence your husbands. Stop being disrespectful. Stop doing the little things that's disrespectful. Stop abating the courage. Brother got an idea or a plan, and your first idea is to shut it down. And you wondering why he ain't trying to be a leader. Well, it's the damn, you shut him down every time. He probably ain't got the courage to no more. You a demon. He come up with something and you always got to go against it. He say, let's go here. You say, let's go there. You ask him a question. He give an answer. You say, nah, that can't be right. Well, damn. What you expect? He ain't trying to deal with, you know what he gonna do? He gonna go find another woman that is gonna reverence him. That's what he gonna do. Men simple. Men are simple as hell. Boys grow up playing with trucks and animals. Women grow up playing with people and playing house and using feelings and emotions. Men don't. So now we have to learn how to communicate with each other. Our problem is we have been communicating with men like they would do a woman. Men have been communicating with women like they would do a man. And that is ineffective. It's not going to work. Tried it. Been there, done that. It didn't work. My marriage wasn't growing. We weren't getting anywhere. We weren't getting anywhere. We had to go to a different approach. But, Salakia, we actually gonna have to stop the chapter right here because I actually gotta, I'm gonna have to use my phone for something. And yeah, it's unfortunate. I wish we could keep going. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah. You brothers got anything y'all want to say?
Nah, bro. I'll let it end right there.
God, all praises. The water for tuning in. Lord willing, we do this again sometime soon. But with that, we want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, by Hashem, Mashiach, Yahweh Shah, Shalom.
Shalom.
So